Hello. Well, we're about halfway through. We've clocked up 9,000 miles so far, and we're 3 months in really. We're still speaking, so that's all good. We've had our moments. We're heading to New York, and after New York, we're meeting our friends Rachel and Andy in Nashville, and we're doing Nashville, Memphis, and New Orleans with them. And then when they leave, we're heading from New Orleans through Texas. We meet people all the time and they give us like little tips of where to go. So I think Austin is where we're going to go. And then we're going to head up towards through Albuquerque into Vegas, up to San Francisco, down into LA to see Tim, and fortuitously Chelsea is there on a business trip, so we can catch up with her too. And then we're going to go down the Baja Peninsula, and we have just booked, we hope, fingers crossed, our ferry from the Baja Peninsula over to mainland Mexico. It's a cargo ship, so they do have some cabins. Hopefully we've managed to secure one of those. And then we start the Central America bit, which I'm very nervous about. And the logistics and the paperwork and the admin involved in getting in and out and crossing all of those borders is quite daunting. So I'm asking lots of people for some help, lots of people who speak Spanish, and so thank you to Chelsea and Aura for helping me so far. I'm sure I'm going to be tapping you again. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying them. Keep watching, it means a lot. Thanks for all of your messages, they keep on coming and we love them. Thank you. We're on the way to New York, baby. We got up really early. Fortunately, it's a Sunday because we're a bit daunted by driving down Broadway in New York, which is what Tim would like to do. So we got up really early. Thankfully, it is a Sunday, so we're hoping that the traffic is not going to be too bad. Traffic wasn't too bad at all, to be honest. We were pleasantly surprised. We decided that we'd probably spend the day in New York, try and find somewhere to park and have a bit of a mooch about and go out somewhere nice for lunch before we headed out of the city for the night. Parking in general, as you might expect in a big city, was a challenge, just like it would be in London. But parking a motorbike was even more of a challenge. The car parks in New York seem to be mostly ramped, so you have to drive your car in and give your car and your keys to the car park attendants, and then they drive them up ramps. I don't remember, years and years ago, that used to be like that in Knightsbridge. So we got turned away from 3 because obviously they couldn't drive the bike. We found somewhere eventually, and all the cars, as with all the other car parks, went in the lift and went up to their ramps. Not us. We went in the lift and we went down to the basement, and it was the weirdest experience. And the basement was full of, it looked like all the homeless people in New York had left their trolleys there for the last decade, and we just scooted through to find a little spot amongst suitcases, clothes, to park the bike.
Well, good morning. Here we are in Times Square, New York. We decided that we would just drive through the middle of it, so we got up early this morning, left the hotel at 7. The traffic wasn't too bad, to be fair, and we entered New York from the north of Manhattan, then we drove all the way down Broadway until we got to Times Square, and then we found a parking garage
eventually
for $15 for 24 hours. But anyway, here we are.
It's buzzy, noisy, as you might expect. We were last here probably 12 or 13 years ago with 2 of the kids. It's as bonkers as it was then, and people are just the same.
So we've got a few hours to kill, and we're now going to Greenwich Village, or Greenwich, as they say around here.
They don't say Greenwich, they say Greenwich.
She just said Greenwich.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where we're going.
It's meant to be really nice, and we never came here when we were here last time. The other place that I thought of going was Soho, but we went there and I remember it being lovely. And also Brooklyn. There's an area in Brooklyn. But did we go to Brooklyn? I think we only went over the Brooklyn Bridge. But anyway, we haven't been to Greenwich before, so that's what we're going to do. I think it's going to be nicer and less manic than Times Square.
So it's official, the New York subway is stupid. We just got completely lost, and
a lovely girl, lovely young lady called Lizzie, I'm going to tag her somewhere on Instagram probably, escorted us like we were a couple of old pensioners for half an hour.
Yeah.
Till we found our way out.
Bless her. So we've made it back to where the bike is nearly.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I don't really recognise where we are. But...
No. Anyway.
Oh, I do. We were there.
We found it.
It turns out that there's actually more than one of those restaurants, so we actually don't know where we are still.
Good news, the bike's still here. It's a little bit creepy now.
I'm sure most of you know this, but in case you didn't, bikes don't have a reverse, so and it's so heavy, so I had to help push it back once we got off the slight slant so that Tim could tiptoe it back. I had to use my big muscles.
What's squeaking?
Okay.
Everything in New York is all in grids, so we ended up having to drive back through Times Square to get out of the city, which was significantly busier than it was when we arrived in the morning. headed out of the city, and staying in New York is just so expensive, especially when you're parking a vehicle, so we decided not to do that, and we headed out to somewhere called Hagerstown. So that'll be a treat. I wonder what that's like. We saw something today that we've never seen before. 2 aeroplanes coming into land in parallel. I've never seen that, nor's Tim. Isn't that weird? We're packing up to head to Tennessee this morning. We've had well, Best Westerns, they're fine. I mean, they're just basic. This one was probably a little more depressing than most. We're nestled in between a correctional facility on my left and a petrol station on my right and a motorway. So there's absolutely nothing to do. So we sort of changed tack a little bit as to what our plan is. And I think that I'm so fed up. It's a cumulative effect, I think, of travelling for 2.5 months, constantly living out of a bag, eating out in places that we don't really want to eat at, and forever being in slightly grubby / dirty clothes. It's quite an unsettling feeling for me, not for everybody, but for me. So I think we're just going to try something a bit different before I completely lose the plot.
Adele is not very happy. She's really fed up. We are travelling from New York and we are going towards Nashville, and there's just been nothing. It's about 1,000 miles over 8 days, and she's had enough staying in these dumpy places. So we've got a nice Airbnb tomorrow, but it's 300 miles, and we're going to stay there for 3 nights, and in an effort to cheer her up. Is that going to work?
Hope so.
Good morning. So we are in
Staunton.
where?
Staunton.
That's where we are, and we are going to Sevierville, I think that's how you say it, and that is the home of Dolly Parton. And this time we are going to an Airbnb, and we are going to stay there for 3 nights, and we're going to have a rest. And I think the plan is that we are going to do much bigger days mileage wise and much longer rests. So I think today's about 330, but I think we're going to up it to 400 or 500 miles each time, and then do a massive journey and then a nice long rest, because even when you do 150, 200 miles, you spend most of the day on the bike, so we might as well just be on the bike all day and get somewhere. So that's the plan.
That is the plan. We'll see how it goes.
And hopefully that will cheer up her indoors.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting, and when you end up somewhere like this where there's nothing to do or see, it's a complete waste of a day. I had to walk up the motorway yesterday just to get some food. It just seems a waste to me, and the exhaustion of changing every night is still the same.
But 500 miles on a bike in a day, that's hard going. That's 10 hours probably. It's, well, between 8 and 10 hours depending on the traffic.
On, 350, something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, anyway. Right, catch you in a bit.
We've definitely noticed a change in people's accent in Virginia, actually, and we started to notice a much more of a southern drawl. I have to tune in, actually, because it's quite hard to understand. in the Smoky Mountains and we've just arrived at our cabin, which is beautiful. We're very high up, and now we've got a 25-minute drive.
We've done 350 miles and now we've got to do another 20 odd.
To go and get some food because there's nothing here at all. So we're going to go and stock up for the next couple of days. I think the forecast is rain tomorrow. Oh, look, there's a zip line over there. Just noticed. Anyway, sorry. And yeah, we're going to go and stock up so that we can hole up here for a couple of days and chill out.
Washing powder.
Washing powder. Indeed. Loads of things. I've got a list in my head. I've spent 5 hours making it. The nearest supermarket was 25 minutes away each way. I thought it was just going to be like a normal town, really, but it was far from normal. It was like a massive fun fair. It was like Blackpool on speed. There were wacky hotels and amusement parks and just craziness everywhere. King Kong climbing up the side of a building. We thought for a while it might be Dollywood, but it isn't. It's on Dollywood Avenue, but you have to go a couple of miles further out from Pigeon Forge to get to Dollywood. I don't really know what it was, but it was mad. Well, this is quite the view, and a welcome relief from whatever the bloody hell that town was down there. Pigeon Forge? It wasn't even part of Dollywood, it was just on Dollywood Lane. Back to the calm of the Smoky Mountains. I've got a headache from just being down there. That was mad. Thank God we didn't stay in a Best Western down there.
Put her on the kitchen with food.
I'm a happy girl. Look, we're going to have like salads and salmon and and tomato.
Nothing to do with that.
No, but oh come on. It's everyone who doesn't cook with a glass of wine. I'm like the galloping gourmet. I'm so happy. We're just leaving Pigeon Forge in the Smoky Mountains and we have had a really restful 2.5 days. It's been blissful. I've read my book, I've been to the gym, I've cooked, we've watched films and slept and feel a lot more rested. So now we are heading to Nashville.